Hi everyone, I'm Ferd and welcome to my video. I'm working on a 13-foot boat. In a previous video I did of this, I put a casting deck on the front of it. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how I laid the carpet on it. I didn't show it in that video. So let's go in, turn my wood shop into an upholstery shop, and lay some carpet on this deck. Enjoy the video. For the deck I used 23/32 or damn near 3/4 inch plywood. It's BCX underlayment and everything was sealed with a coat of fiberglass resin. You can see how to build this deck in a previous video I made. Check out my channel and the boat playlist. Alright, I think I'm about ready to put some carpet on this thing. And I'm going to start with the big one. I need to do this first and get my hatches wrapped because I may have to still trim the hatch doors themselves to fit in there. I ordered this thing 4 foot and I think it was supposed to be 7, and it actually came 8 feet long. So I'm going to see if the 4 foot width is going to be enough to get this widest part of it, because it's 4 foot right there. And that's looking like it's going to be just enough to cover it all the way around. I got everything measured. I ran me a chalk line across it, and I'm going to cut her off. I actually had a big board back there that I could lay out on here. That way I can lay my carpet upside down and I could trim it now a little bit better. My carpet's upside down and I'm using a sliding square and sat at 2.5 inches to mark my line. You can use a block or whatever you've got. Cut to whatever size you want to cut it at. And take my pencil and just kind of scratching it. You always want to cut a little bit more carpet than what you're measuring, because you can always take it away. You can't put it back if you cut it too short. We've got a center line here, and we'll mark it. I don't know why, it just seems like a good idea. The reason I'm marking these centers is after I glue it, it's going to give me a reference point to where to fold this carpet when I lay it back on that sticky glue, and I won't have to pull it back up, hopefully. All right. Henry's 663 Amazon. Never used it before. I am going to stir it a little bit. I stirred this up pretty good because it seemed kind of clunky. Then I took my paint stick and just slopped some out over the surface. After that, I used an 1/8 inch V-notched trowel to smooth it out across the surface. One of the biggest complaints that I saw on Amazon about this glue was that it wasn't drying. Why did I buy it if it had so many of these complaints? It's because I kind of knew beforehand that it wasn't being properly installed by the people that were complaining. You can't just slop it on there like I'm doing with my paint stick and leave it at that. You have to use a trowel on it. at least an 1/8 inch and no more than a quarter. I wouldn't even use the quarter unless you got some really thick, rough carpet. Now, after you get your glue on there, the last thing you want to do is immediately throw your carpet on there. That's where a lot of people are making their big mistake. This stuff has to set up and look dry. So you're going to have to let it set a while. My shop's about 70 degrees and it's up off of the floor. So I'm thinking it's probably going to take about an hour. Now, if you're laying tile or carpet on a basement floor where it's kind of cold, you might wait several hours before this stuff actually sets up. But you got to let it set up and dry. Very, very important. I'm going to fold my carpet to those 2 halfway marks that I got. And I've got about 3.5 inches and 3.25 inches at this end. So I'm going to guesstimate it. Go around and measure and see how close I got it. That's pretty close. The next thing I'm doing is using a roller to roll the carpet out. It's going to kind of stretch it a little bit and take any of the bubbles out of it that might be in there. Now, if you don't have a roller like this one, you could probably find one in the kitchen. Just don't let your wife or your mom know that you're using it for this. They may use it on you. After you get your carpet rolled out, it's very, very important to let this set overnight and dry the rest of the way. The next morning, you can come in and not have to worry about it falling off when you go to flip it over to staple the other side and cut out your hatches. All right, we're going to just sit and let this thing dry at least overnight. It's going to be a little longer because this is Friday and I won't be back until Monday morning. All right, the first thing I'm going to do, it's Monday and the stuff dried. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to roll these ends. I don't need any glue here, but I am going to glue this down right here with some spray adhesive that I've got. I don't guess you need to start in any particular place. I'm using stainless steel staples. They're not that much. From what I remember, I bought those years ago. But I'm going to start at this corner up here. The only places that I really had to do any cutting on this big piece was right there on the corners, where you see me now and where you'll see me later on the back piece and around those tubes. The long curved part of it, I didn't really have to put any cuts in them. It just seemed to roll over and lay down pretty nice. And as far as the glue, on these big pieces like this, you can get away with not gluing around the edges of it like I did here. But on the smaller pieces, you'll see, like when I do the doors, it's a good idea to glue all those edges and the back sides wherever the carpet's going to be making contact with the wood. But I decided not to right here. I'm stapling it down, then I'm going back and tapping them down with a little hammer. I've used these staples before and they work really well and they hold up nice, even though the box on the SS type staples state that they're not for marine use. What I'm using is 3M headliner adhesive. It's actually used for headliners in cars and trucks, but it's some sticky stuff and I'm using it to wrap that backboard and the inside edges of where those doors are going to go. Simple cuts, just pull it back, staple it, cut it off, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the two on the front, but I'll cut them off a little bit later and use a different glue. And then I'm going to flip it over and shove those doors down it where there's a nice tight fit, and I can let that stuff set up real good. I had to trim these back quite a bit. Without even having carpet on it, there's still a tight fit, so there's still quite a bit of wood that needs to be taken off of this in order for it to fit in there. I don't know how much. I'm just going back and forth, cutting it and fitting it, but it's been quite a bit, at least a 1/4 of an inch on each side. This side and then that side. I'll switch to this glue. I'm just going to dab a little bit on there because of the mess that the spray can makes. It's going to take a little more time to do it this way. I have to let this sit for a little while before I fold these ends down, but I won't be spraying glue all over my carpet. I don't want to tape it all off. These sides are already cut and glued down. There's where my hinges are going to go. Okay, I've got them in there pretty tight. So I'm going to let them sit there for a while, let that glue around them edges dry. Then I'm going to have to pull them out to trim them back probably another 1/4 of an inch so I can lay the carpet on these and put those in there. Now I'm ready to install my hinges. I'm using a 3/4 by 3/4 inch aluminum piano hinge. They came in a 12-inch length, and I was able to cut them to size very easily on my bandsaw. If you don't have a bandsaw, they can be cut with a hacksaw as well. I've laid a piece of tape across there, kind of even with where that line matches up when it's level. And when I put this down in there and measure, I'm going to have to cut off 5/8 of an inch down that side there in order for the board to fit like this. Now I got to figure out how much more to allow for the carpet that's going to go over top of it. Okay, there I've got about an 1/8 inch gap. I'm real tight down here on this end. So I'm thinking if I cut off another 1/8 inch, that'll leave me enough space on this side for the carpet going this way. So I'll have to take a 1/4 inch off the top and the bottom of it and able to do the whole thing. I'm going to give that a try. So I'll just creep up on it and see what I got, because I don't know. Okay, I got this fitting good. I cut an 1/8 off the top and the bottom each, which is a 1/4 of an inch. There's still no gap there. That's going to be too tight. So I'm going to cut 1/16 off of each side of it, see what kind of gap I've got, and then just keep creeping up on it. I got to do both sides because of this curve right here. Okay, I'm starting to see a gap, and I could stick carpet down in it on both sides. I think I'm good to go here. Once you're confident that the doors are all cut to the correct size, it's time to glue them up and get them ready for some carpet. On these smaller pieces, you need to glue those edges. I've used all the steps that I showed previously in the video to apply the carpet to the top of the door. It's the next day. I've let it dry real good. Now I'm going to apply glue to all the edges. If you don't do this, those top edges will puff up on you. You don't have to let the glue dry in this step. Before I made any cuts in the carpet, I glued and folded the curved side of the door and fastened it down with staples. I trimmed the bottom side edge off of it straight across. I'm going to demonstrate on the curved corner only. The other ones you'll be able to figure out. But I'm starting over here on the curved side on the bottom, and I'm going to cut straight down from that corner. And then I'm going to do the same thing up on the top. After you make these cuts, you'll be able to pull that front piece around the corner to where you can overlap your top and bottom right over top of it. I have to trim it to get it to lay down in there. Wrap that around that side, see. Now this side I'm not going to glue. I'm just going to staple it down. If I put it in there and it's too tight and I have to cut it, I just pull the staples, pull the carpet back, take it to the saw and cut it, and then try it again. There is a fancy cut that you can make to hide the corners on these edges, but I can't do it with this cheap carpet. So I'm just cutting them at a 90-degree angle, straight out. Only thing left is to screw them hinges down and we can put her on the boat. Let's see what it looks like. All right, let's put the deck in. Hopefully everything goes okay. Well, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good information out of it. Hit that like button and spread the word. Subscribe to my channel. I got a lot of videos up there and I got a lot more coming. Hit that notification bell. You'll get notified as soon as I put them up there. When it comes to boat safety, I'm real serious about it. If this is something that you think may make your boat unsafe, I don't recommend you doing it. But when you're boating, take all the safety precautions you can, have all the safety devices on your boat, wear your life jacket, and have fun. Thank you for watching.